I mean, I may quit because I don't want to do another. I did Trump. I did all the Trump stuff before anybody. I called him a con man before anybody. He's a mafia boss. I was the one who said he wasn't going to concede the election. I've done it. I've seen this.
Well, then how come he's so hostile to Jimmy Kimmel and not to you?
He's very hostile to me. He
Is
tweets
he?
about me every week.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. Every week he accidentally watches my show and then low ratings loser.
Oh, well, yeah.
But, I mean, I just...
We were so close. Get fine. It's good. It's right. It's his right. He's an 82-year-old man. Doesn't want to spend the rest of his life visiting his son in prison. Faith in the rule of law. Finally. Democrats have a moral perch.
I don't want to hear one single word from a single Republican, Trump-loving parent when the public school system stops working for their kid. I don't want to hear one word from any Republican parents that live in rural areas when their school gets shut down and consolidated with another school 20 miles away because theirs doesn't have enough Title I funding to operate anymore. I don't want to hear a single word from any parent of a special needs child that voted for Donald Trump when their kid stops receiving services and supports at school. You no longer get to play the victim anymore. We will do everything that we possibly can to make sure your child still receives a free and appropriate public school education as it is required by law, but you do not get any extra support or sympathy. I'm going to need y'all to suffer in silence and figure it out on your own. When Republican parents finally realize how much their public school system has atrophied because of neglect due to Republicans, and when they finally come to the realization that they're going to have to pull their kid out of public school, quit their job, and homeschool their kid, or even more hilarious, when they finally decide that no matter how many vouchers Donald Trump promises to give them, they're never going to afford private school, I don't want to hear one single complaint out of any one of those parents that voted for Donald Trump. Oh, what are we going to do? My child can't go to a school this is what you wanted.
Has been reelected. What are we black educators going to do? What's the plan? Because I'm not with the shits and giggles of Trump children. I'm not. And I'm definitely not with the shits and giggles of Trump parents.
You know, it is really mind-boggling. Don't these ladies know that the American educational system has been run by liberals, well, mostly Democrats? The Republicans are coming to fix things because as of now, things ain't going well. So I don't see what hypocrisy. They don't even realize that this mess has been caused by the liberal nature of the policies that have been passed. I hope the Republicans fix it because the school system in America, I'm not living in America, but I heard it's not really good. It's more of indoctrination and stuff like that. Let's take a look at Bill Maher and Jane Fonda with this recent tweet. I mean, they had this recent interview and there is a lot to unpack there. Bill Maher tells Jane Fonda he may quit his show over Trump. Shit in my pants. Bill Maher tells Jane Fonda he may quit. Wow. I thought Bill Maher was really the adults in the room when it comes to the Democratic Party left. But I don't believe he truly believes this, right? I thought he's been a stronger one, the one who's shown courage to actually call Dems out and stuff like that. I hope he stays center right and be some kind of a force of common sense in the Democratic Party because we need that, because we need even though the Republicans have got the power, we need them to be held accountable fairly, not unfairly. So that's just what I think. Yeah, so many news outlets, they just picked up on what he said in this show. That Bill Maher tells Jane Fonda that he may quit his show over Trump. Basically, another loser who hardly has viewers looking to end his show and blame Trump. X is where the action is, and these people know that. Well, I think Bill Maher is one of the last ones standing on the left, I'll say possibly he's the Joe Rogan of the left. I'll say that. That's my own judgment. I don't know about you. You may tell me down in the comment section below, but I think he's got a decent amount of viewers, and yeah, it's just left for him to keep on doing what he's doing. But if he goes thin-skinned, then I'm sorry, it may be over for him. But we need competition. So, Bill, you're going nowhere. Stay put, and yeah, sometimes I like some of your ideas, and perhaps we watch sometimes just to have an unbiased view. So when we are actually bringing up the latest on this platform, we can actually we have both sides of the news. So we try to present our facts objectively. That's what I'm trying to say.
I mean, I may quit because I don't want to do another. I did Trump. I did all the Trump stuff before anybody. I called him a con man before anybody. He's a mafia boss. I was the one who said he wasn't going to concede the election. I've done it. I've seen this.
Well, then how come he's so hostile to Jimmy Kimmel and not to you?
He's very hostile to me. He
Is he?
tweets about me every week.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. Every week he accidentally watches my show and then low ratings loser.
Oh, well, yeah.
But I mean, I'm bored with it. I mean,
So find a new thing to do and not do Trump. Do something else.
the show is the politics.
I know,
There's no other thing and he's going to dominate the news like he always does.
Yeah, it's quite telling, right? He started all this, and now he wants to quit. Come on, you must stay for the last dance, okay? Trump is not running anymore. This 4 years is his final. So it'll be, I'll say, very kind of you to stay around and see how Trump does things. If he's a warrant of being criticized, then you go for it. I think it helps his presidency. But you cannot just quit. I think you're the last one standing right now. If you quit, then we may not have any opposition again. And possibly democracy may go away because Trump might be there forever, right? So we need opponents. We need opponents in this, in the United States of America. I'm not from there, but I can see a lot of things going on there. So Bill, just make sure that you stay calm, everything will be all right, and speak facts. You cannot just call the guy all those names, associating him with one of the worst humans on earth, and you think it can just go away. It will go away if you just face the facts and possibly apologize. But I'm not buying this, you're going away. I think you're just trying to stir up the pot so that we keep on covering you and you keep on having more views on your show. Anyway, let's continue.
Kind of piggybacking on this, despite Trump's personal attacks against you and promises of retribution, not to mention many death threats that you have received since you have been speaking out, you say that you have zero fear of Donald Trump. Why?
Look,
how, I should say.
I've been to war, okay? Donald Trump, I'm not trying to just be partisan shots here. He is a small, weak man who is scared to death of people. He's scared to death of strong people. And
Come on.
I refuse to be intimidated. I
You
didn't
don't
break the
believe
law.
that.
All I did was get answers for the American people. If you want to come after me, you have to make something up. And by the way, if you make something up, I'm going to use that and become twice the pain in your backside that I ever have been if you're going to come after me for no reason. And the American people won't stand for it. They may have elected Donald Trump, but they still want the law and the justice system.
At this point, it's just laughable. They still want the law and the justice. So you think the American people don't know the law and the justice department was used against Trump? Wow. You cannot be living in denial for this long. I don't know. And they probably believed it. Like Donald Trump is going to use the law and the justice system to go after his political opponents. Hypothetically. So it's not happened. But we all know the current administration has used the law and the justice system to go after Donald Trump. Are you not talking about that? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And this guy's name is Adam Kissinger. And The View is now claiming that Trump has issued death threats against Adam Kissinger. Wow. That is a blatant, ridiculous lie. When will ABC realize this show is a complete liability, these constant false claims, and cancel it? Of course. I don't understand. At this point, is it deliberate, or are they just trying to stir up the pot or whatever? It doesn't make sense anymore. Like, these things just keep happening. But it's what it is. What can we do about it?
To take on the pardon. You know, that situation disgusted me in terms of the pardon only from this standpoint, Chris. Nobody on the planet, you want to be a cynic and you want to act like you would be offended by something like that if you're one of those people out there, fine. But no one within reason would have a problem with him saying, it's my son. I love him. There's no way I'm sending him to jail. And I have the power to avoid it. Nobody would blame him for that. But that's not where he went. So I didn't have a problem to answer your question directly with the decision that he made to pardon his son. Boo Boo the Fool knew he was going to do that. I don't care who he stood in front of or sat in front of and said that he wasn't going to pardon his son and he was just going to go by the letter of the law. Please, everybody and their grandmother knew he was going to pardon his son. But to come out and to start talking about how it's been a witch hunt and the Department of Justice and others were after him, or whoever it was, and, you know, GOP rather was after him. Well, wait a minute. What have y'all been doing with Donald Trump all of these years? Now, you can make an argument about the legitimacy of the cases against Donald Trump compared to what wasn't legitimate, etc. That's not the point. The point is it was clearly politicized. You had folks on the left who were hell-bent on going after Donald Trump because they were determined to make sure that he couldn't run for re-election or that these elements would get in the way of him possibly winning re-election. And now we know why more than ever, because they weren't confident they would ever be able to beat him. He'd been a Republican nominee since 2016. He beat Hillary Clinton with the Electoral College vote. He wouldn't concede defeat in 2020, pardoning his son. It was the weak, pathetic explanation that he gave, which has most critics just shaking their heads and raising their eyebrows and saying, what nerve.
We were so close. You'll get fine. It's good. It's right. It's his right. He's an 82-year-old man. Doesn't want to spend the rest of his life visiting his son in prison. Faith in the rule of law. Finally. Democrats have a moral perch from which they can judge without shame, hypocrisy.
Frustrated right now with President Biden pardon to his son. They cannot understand. Why will he do that? I mean, they've just lost all the moral high ground, and Trump can, in fact, they've just handed over Trump the will to just do whatever he wants, right? That's according to them, but I don't think Trump is bothered about that. But of course, Trump is going to hand in some pardons, but nobody will question that. Biden has pardoned his son, and that's the height of nepotism, right? No, just using... Okay, you remember Biden said that no one is above the law. There was a Twitter feed from The Hill. They flagged that his tweet that no one is above the law, and they fact-checked him. That now Biden and his son, they are above the law. What an irony. But this is so frustrating for the Democrats because it has taken out, I'll say, one less ammo for them to use against Trump. But let's see how these 4 years unfold. I'll be talking to you in the next one. This is Black Coffee. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Cheers.